Hello to you newcomers and welcome back subscribers. This is Big Baby Props and I'm the Big Baby. And this is a very shiny Captain Phasma helmet. And today I'm going to be showing you the steps I took in order to get it like this. The files for this helmet are available for free on Thingiverse. I'll be sure and link that in the description. You should know that the paint we're going to be using is called Molotov Liquid Chrome. We're going to be painting it with an airbrush, and with that out of the way, let's get started. So we are here now in my 3D printing room. That's why it's going to be so noisy. But here we've got our helmet. It's been sanded down. Now I wanted to clean off all of my little fingerprints and wax around the whole thing. So for that, I've got this grease and wax remover right here, as well as one jumbo cotton ball. So I'll put on some gloves and then we'll get to cleaning. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit on here onto the cotton ball. And then what we'll do is we'll wipe this all around the helmet. And that should clean off any wax, grease, as well as maybe some small particulates that might have been left after we brushed it off with the microfiber cloth. So here we go. Just kind of want to wash it on. Be sure and get just about everywhere. The stuff is pretty strong too, so you might want to wear a respirator or do this in a well-ventilated room. I'll probably have to open the windows after this one. Alright, that's about covers the entire helmet. I don't know if you can see this, but our cotton ball is a little bit grayer. So that means that along with all the wax and grease, it also cleaned off some of the filler primer that was left on there, which is good. So we're gonna let this guy dry off, some of the smell in here dissipate, and then we can start airbrushing the black. Now, I wanted to airbrush the black parts of the helmet first because this chrome that we'll be using, it's very sensitive, and so I definitely don't want to have to tape over the chrome. What we'll do is we'll paint the black and then let that dry completely and then tape over the black. That way we can do the whole rest of the helmet in chrome. So that's the game plan. We're gonna let this dry and then we can get started painting. Okay guys, the helmet has dried off. So what we're going to do now is start painting. Now you're definitely going to want to keep your gloves on for this, just to make sure you don't get paint on your fingers, as well as keeping your dirty, grimy hands off your nice, shiny helmet now. So let's load up the airbrush with some paint. I'm going to use the Spastics, not that one, the High Gloss Black. We're going to load it up, do maybe 1 or 2 coats, and we can just be as kind of reckless as we want because we're going to be painting over this black with our chrome, and we're going to have the parts that we want to keep taped off. So not a lot of precision in this step. So I've got about 20 psi on the airbrush. You don't want to go too high for these sort of things. So let's load her up just a smidgen. And you always want to test your paint first, or at least the flow, on a scrap piece of plastic. So here I've got a phase 1 that didn't quite work out. Now let's just make sure that it flows okay. Looking good. So now there's a couple different variations of the helmet that I saw. Some where this part was black, others where it wasn't. So I'm going to just go with the Anovos replica version, which had this part not painted black. So let's just start painting. Just go with light coats for now. And we want to get all the way around, especially inside these like hexagonal, I don't even know, honeycomb looking things. We want to make sure that all the surfaces in there get a good black coat. And you can see that I'm not being too precise with my paints. It's okay if it gets a little like up here, or you don't have to color all the way inside the lines for this one. Like right now, I can't remember if this top brim gets some black or not, so I'm gonna paint it just to be safe, because we can always paint over it with the chrome. It's not a big deal. This honeycomb part is really kind of the trickiest part, since you need to look at it from a few different angles to make sure that you've got coverage on all of it. Okay, so we're out of paint, so I'll probably add some more. I might let this dry for maybe 5 minutes. Airbrush paint doesn't take nearly as long since it's such light coats. There we go. But we are going to want another coat or so. Okay, we're again out of paint, so we're gonna call that good. It kind of looks like a really creepy makeup on Phasma or something, but we're gonna let this dry for maybe like 2 hours, just so that it's nice. And actually, let's look at the instructions. So we might wait till the evening for this, so probably like more like 5 to 8 hours to put tape over it, just because tape can be kind of well, it'll try and lift some of the paint off when we peel it off. So we obviously don't want that, so we want our paint to be nice and cured before we go taping it up. So wait for this to cure, then we'll tape it, and then we can get started on the chrome. Okay guys, I've got some tape added onto the helmet. We just put it around all the parts that we want to keep black. For all the rest of it, we're just going to paint over it. So once we're done, we'll peel off the tape, and what's left underneath will be black. So now we can start painting with the airbrush. With me here, I've got 2 canisters of our Molotow liquid chrome. This is the paint we're going to be using to really get the chrome look. If you want to see how it compares to some other chrome paints, be sure and check out my other video. I did a whole experiment on it, comparing 3 different chrome paints, and this is the one that I thought was the best. So I'll also be sure and leave a link in the description so you guys can get a tube of this if you like. So we're going to turn on our air compressor. So before we start painting, I just want to get out a test sheet of paper as well as a respirator, because this stuff does kind of smell bad and you want to protect your lungs. So let me put this on quick and we'll do a little test spray. Okay, we got a little bit of it. Let's put some more paint in and start going. Okay guys, if you take a look at the helmet here, you can see it's pretty shiny in some places, but it's got a lot of like kind of streaks on it from having to stop and start the paint just so that it would dry out and shine in some places. But I'm gonna let this dry for probably overnight and then come back again tomorrow and try and get a more solid coating all around it so that it's, you know, not so streaky. You can see pretty bad there. So we'll come back tomorrow and add on the second coat.
One more time.
Okay guys, now that it's all painted, we can get to my favorite part, which is going to be to peel off this tape here that we set earlier. This should reveal our black base. And it should be clean black. If we did a good tape job. No chrome should have got underneath the tape. For this, sometimes I like to grab just a little X-Acto knife just so that I can manipulate the tape better than my big fat fingers. Just peel that off. Very satisfying. So I thought I'd include it in the video. So now we've got a fully chromed out and polished Captain Phasma helmet. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something. I hope you're willing to try out some Molotow chrome paint and chrome something of your own. I had a lot of fun with it. You know, this is the best chrome that I've seen coming out of an airbrush. I mean, I can literally see myself in this reflection, guys. It is that good. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again next time.